You're watching KUTV News at 9. Let's get an introduction. Now, this is a day that we are planning to take you through everything that has been taking center stage in the country and across our borders, and you can engage with us on our social media platforms. Send us your feedback on X at KUTV_Kenya, and also this broadcast is live on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya. Let's get an introduction.
This is KUTV Primetime News with Anyango, Sylvia.
That's right, and our sign language interpreter tonight is Sami Okelo. We begin. The ongoing nationwide teacher strike has today been called off after an extensive meeting between Teachers Service Commission and the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, KUPPET. Akelo Misori, the Secretary General of KUPPET, told the media that the strike has been put on hold following a provisional agreement with the Teachers Service Commission, TSC.
After a consultative meeting with the Teachers Service Commission, Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, KUPPET, has directed all teachers to return to work. While speaking after the meeting, KUPPET Secretary General Akelo Misori has cautioned all teachers to resume their post as the matter at hand is being addressed. In an effort to put an end to the work boycott through alternative dispute resolution, TSC and KUPPET had a productive talk today in the wake of the industrial action. According to TSC Chief Executive Officer Nancy Macharia, an agreement has been met and it's now up to TSC to resolve the said problems. The government pledged on August 21, 2021 to finance the second phase of the Teachers Collective Bargain Agreement, which was scheduled to go into effect on July 1, 2024. According to Nancy, all teachers have benefited from the implementation of the second phase of the CBA, with all the areas settled. Remittance of the third-party deductions, restatement of medical plan, and over 51,000 teachers' promotions are among the issues that have been rectified. In addition, the government has given JSA instructors greater resources for professional development, promising to resolve their outstanding concerns. It's now up to the teachers to see if they will adhere to the directive and return back to school after they had earlier today called on parents to withdraw their students from school. Edward Nyamo, KUTV.
Learning continues in various schools across the country despite the ongoing strike by the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, KUPPET. In Starehe Boys Center, educational activities appear to proceed normally, with students following the school's schedule as usual. Additionally, parents have expressed their opinions regarding the strike, urging the Teachers Service Commission to listen to the teachers' demands.
While teacher strikes continues across the country, learning seemed to be ongoing in various schools, including Starehe Boys Center. Students there appeared to continue with normal school schedules, with teachers also present at school. However, a large number of schools did not have any students in attendance. Nevertheless, parents voiced their opinions about the strike, with many urging the Teachers Service Commission TSC to listen to teachers' demands in order to end the strike.
My take is that the government should talk with the teachers, and I know the most problem is with the TSC. If the CEO, Nancy Macharia, can accept to talk to teachers, things are okay. The government has no problem. I think the problem is TSC. So they have to agree, because the person who is suffering now is the student and the parent.
The parents also requested an increase in teachers' salaries, stating that teachers are also parents with families to support and care for.
Hii mgomo napenda serikali sana. Kama inaweza ongeza walimu mshahara inaweza kuwa vizuri, kwa sababu ina affect watoto hata kwa kimasomo, education. Juu watoto wamekaa nyumbani kwa muda mrefu, tena bado ndio hii waongezee kukaa nyumbani na kuwa ngumu sana kama sisi wazazi.
James Kilonzo, one of the parents, stated that he had paid all the school fees even though there were no classes at school where he had enrolled his child. He is now asking the government to resolve this issue, as it is affecting students who are preparing to take on national examinations at the end of this term.
I have a daughter in Form 3, Senior Chief Koinange. No, I took her back to school on Wednesday last week. I've paid all the fees. There is no learning. So, okay, in one way, those parents who have their daughters or their children in Form 4 are very much affected.
Despite the ongoing teacher strike in the country, business is usual in Starehe Boys Center, and now the government needs to sit down with TSC in order to conclude this teacher strike. Brian Tobiko, KUTV.
And the University of Nairobi students have today taken to the streets of Nairobi to demonstrate against the new higher education funding model that was unveiled by President Ruto on May 3rd, 2024. According to the demonstrators, the model is punitive as it adopts unfair distribution criteria, thus crippling the higher education. Take a look.
We've rolled out a new higher education funding model.
The new university education funding model unveiled by President William Ruto on May 3rd, 2024 continues to face sharp criticism and opposition after the University of Nairobi students took to the streets of Nairobi earlier today to protest against the model, asserting that this contentious funding model adopts an unfair distribution criteria which only cripples the university education. This comes in just a week after President Ruto defended the model, emphasizing its consideration for students in varying levels of vulnerability, despite scrapping off the automatic capitation for students joining higher education.
I am also persuaded that we need a funding model that is not focused on the university, but focused on the student.
I applied for help. Nikaplaced band 5. Sikufurahia. Niko nataka 3 ama 2 at least.
I was placed in band 4, of which I feel I'm not reliable in that band.
Kwangu nimeonekwa sawa pande yetu, but hatuwezi kosa kusema hao wenye wame complain because na feel wanafaa kucheck mtu aikwe at the right place.
The new funding strategy, which replaces the differentiated unit cost model previously used, places students in 5 bands using 8 variables, including parents' background, gender, course type, marginalization, disability, family size, and composition. The witnessed demos from the University of Nairobi students seems to be just the beginning of other anti-new funding model protest from students across learning institutions in the country. KUTV News.
Kenya Airports Authority workers went on strike at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport on Monday to oppose Adani's proposal to take over Kenya Airports Authority amid concerns over job security. This comes after a filing from National Stock Exchange of India Limited, intimated corporation of a step-down subsidiary company in Kenya. Here is more. Following the sentiments that the government of Kenya plans to lease out the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport JKIA to Indian firm Adani Holdings Limited, the Kenya Airports Authority (KAA) staff have vowed to officially commence their planned strike on Tuesday should the government fail to address all their grievances by today, Monday. The Kenya Aviation Workers Union (KAU) lamented that the alleged deal was being carried out in a secretive and unlawful manner and will also ultimately result in a massive job loss for employees. According to a filing with the National Stock Exchange India Limited dated 30th August, Global Airports Operator LLC Abu Dhabi incorporated a step-down subsidiary company, which is the Airports Infrastructure PLC AIP in Kenya. AIP is incorporated to take over, operate, maintain, develop, design, construct, modernize and manage the airports for a period that is not specified. For this reason, car workers believe Adani coming in will only rejuvenate its efforts towards taking over JKIA. The looming strike comes forth despite government's assurance through President William Ruto last month after Gen Z protests deemed Occupy JKIA that Kenya has no intentions of selling JKIA but rather leasing it to Airport Holdings Limited of India for renovation lasting 30 years. This is after reports emerged indicating that parastatals and state corporations including JKIA were operating in losses due to increased corruption cases. Anyango, Sylvia, KUTV. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has called on government officers to diligently implement presidential directives on development agenda. Speaking at the launch of 2 new information systems, Gachagua emphasized that efficient execution of this directive is crucial for upholding the dignity of President William Ruto's office. Listen in.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua underscored the importance of implementing presidential directives effectively. The launch of the Presidential Directives Management Information System and the Foreign Travel Information Management System marks a pivotal step towards improving government efficiency and accountability.
ICT has been universally recognized as an enabler of development in all spheres of human endeavor through facilitation of access to information to support decision making and through efficient and effective processes. Technology is a strategic driver to not only improve efficiency, more so in the public sector, but also to make government more transparent, trustworthy, accountable, and open.
The newly introduced systems are expected to bolster efficiency and accountability in both domestic and foreign government operations. The PDMIS is designed to facilitate the tracking and auditing of presidential directives, ensuring that actions taken align with the president's vision and are completed to the satisfaction of Kenyans. Gachagua stressed that the system will aid in identifying and addressing any challenges in directive implementation, thus reinforcing the president's authority.
Especially when one considers the turmoil we have experienced in the last few months. Root cause can be traced down to loss of trust, lack of transparency, and poor accountability. One objective of the Kenya Kwanza is to enhance government service delivery through digitization and automation of all government critical processes and make available 80% of government services online.
Similarly, the 4 teams aim to enhance the management of foreign travel by government officials. This system will ensure that public resources used for international trips are justified and well accounted for, addressing public concerns about transparency in the use of taxpayer money.
PDMIS will record, track, and report on the implementation of presidential directives, replacing manual dispatch methods and providing robust feedback and reporting mechanisms. So government moves slowly, which is a good thing, because while the executive runs on an election cycle of every 5 years, institutions preserve continuity.
The introduction of these systems is seen as a response to calls from the public for greater transparency and accountability in government operations, signaling a move towards a more efficient and responsible administration. Brenda Nyongesa, KUTV.
Now that story by Brenda Nyongesa. Tonight, keep it KUTV. We'll be back with more stories.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Lola is an app that gives you a chance to watch videos, listen to audios, and read articles wherever you are for free. Motivational stories, dramas, campus life, technology, lifestyle, adventure, sports, academics, jobs, entertainment, and more. Download Lola now on Play Store. all you need, you got Lola.
Tunachimba hadi mizizi kukuletea yanayojiri.
So mimi naomba tu serikali yetu ya Mungu, jibarikiwe na Mungu, iweze kuteremsha bei ya mafuta.
Yanayokukumba tuna maizi, tuna kutetea sisiri. Ukweli ni speciali tukikupambia makala ya mwanamke mwake. Utasema hupendi mizizi ya habari. Nami Caroline Kimoi.
Are you healthy, or rather, do you maintain a healthy lifestyle? According to WHO, health is regarded as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. Welcome to Focus on Health, a show on all matters health, wellness, and lifestyle. On this show, we cover a wide variety of topics inclusive of, but not limited to, dental, optical, mental, reproductive health, and so much more. Join me, Joy Bofenda, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on KUTV for compelling insights and discussions on all matters health. See you then.
Focus on Health, your weekly dose of health and wealth information on KUTV.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Anyango, Sylvia.
Welcome back. Remember to keep interacting with us on social media platforms. That is on X at KUTV_Kenya, at Anyango Sylvia KE. Now, President William Ruto is in Beijing for the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation Summit. The summit gives a chance to Africa to fortify and revitalize its relationship with China during the meeting. China has considerably improved Africa infrastructure over the years, demonstrating its status as a true development partner. Ruto is expected to hold bilateral talks with key investors in China in his move to popularize Kenya's workforce as a tool to revolutionize Africa economically. And Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja has rejected allegations of an impending impeachment and stated that his administration is still committed to fulfilling its commitments to the people of Nairobi. Sakaja disclaimed the rumors as baseless distractions when speaking at the opening of a Dishi na County kitchen in Umoja. The governor clarified that he had been involved with project launches and was not planned to lie, and he also denied rumors that he had been taken off President William Ruto's jet that was headed for China. The governor noted that his administration has performed well in spite of having a minority in the county legislature, and commended President Ruto and Raila Odinga for their continued collaboration.
As always, hiyo vitisho tumezoea kwa muda mrefu. As we are focused on the work we are doing for the people of Nairobi. So please, our team in the executive, our team in the assembly, remain focused. What we have to do for Nairobians. Jana kulikuwa na documentary ya Sakaja at 2. If you look at what we've been able to achieve in 2 years, it is because of being focused and keeping your eyes on the ball. Keep your eyes on the prize. Muache mambo ya side shows. Na porojo ni mingi. Saizi Raila na Rais Ruto wako China pamoja. Na juzi ilikuwa ati watu hawezi kuongea. Si ndio hiyo? Mimi vile niliwaambia nafanya kazi na pande zote, watu walileta vuguvugu. Hata nyinyi wengine mlininyorosha. Lakini sasa ona mko wote, kwanza hiyo roro. Mimi nikianza broad based, mulishika nare. But nilikuwa nimeona mbele that we must work broad based the whole of Kenya together. So mambo ya porojo msikuwe. Na propaganda ni mingi, nasikia ati sijui nimetolewa kwa ndege gani. Na nilikuwa na hii function hapa leo. So forget those things that you see, focus on work. Hawa wananchi ni wananchi watakatifu. Hawa watoto, they deserve your undivided attention. Wake up every day thinking about the people who you represent, the people who have given you an opportunity to serve. The rest of the things will come later, and even then later we will be ready for the politics at that time.
Over 1 million young people entering into the labor market annually at a time when unemployment in the country continues to rise. Youngsters have been urged to form cluster groups to benefit from social economic empowerment. Kiambu Deputy Governor Rosemary Kirika regretted that due to the joblessness catastrophe, most youths end up engaging in antisocial behavior, including drug and alcohol abuse, violent extremism, among other immoral conducts.
We brought them together for the purpose of training them and urging them to refrain from using drug and alcohol. Therefore, we brought them together, and we also looked for trainers, professional trainers, and they were training them on life skills. And as we all know, life skills is a very wide subject. Therefore, our training this time was very focused. We selected topics that are geared towards talent development. Therefore, we guided them into identifying their abilities and their strengths and their God-given gifts and their talents, so that we can now take them to the next level of training so that they can develop these talents. And after that, after they have been trained, we are still going to train them on entrepreneurship. That means we train them on how now to turn this into business ideas, and they start businesses that can earn them a living.
On that note, yet another short break. We'll be back with sports.
Ni kaunti maarufu kwa kuzalisha maziwa na ukuzaji wa majani chai. Pia, serikali ya kaunti inawahimiza wakulima kukumbatia mitindo mingine ya kilimo kuzidisha mapato.
Kama kuna kikundi moja inafanya biashara ya kuuza kuku, hao pia tumewafadhili kuwafunza jinsi ya kuhandle zile kuku, kwa sababu wanaleta kwa wingi.
Haya yote tunakuletea katika Boresha Kilimo, toleo la kaunti ya Bomet.
Kilimo ni nguzo kubwa kwa ujenzi wa taifa.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Imagine a world where you are empowered to take charge of your health, where you are well informed about the latest advancements in healthcare and understand the policies that impact your well-being. Get Get ready to take charge of matters your health as we bring you a blend of weekly health features that engage professionals from across various medical fields.
When do you decide as a patient, do I need to go see the doctor? We are at a stage where we are seeing all this manner of chronic illnesses, and we wait until we get a disease, and then is when we go ahead.
From the most mundane to the complexities that perhaps seem overwhelming, we got you covered.
In terms of the factors that might be attributed, there are hereditary factors that could be, that means it could be genetic, so that's one factor. But there are other factors as well, like nutritional deficiencies. So some vitamins, such as folate, have been identified to be a factor in those. So
our mission is to break down intricate health topics into understandable and actionable insights. Join me, Yvonne Kimuma, every Wednesday 9 p.m. on KUTV's News at 9, where your health is our priority.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Anyango, Sylvia.
Welcome back. We had promised to come back with sports, but first let's get to news across our borders. Some families sided with former President Donald Trump after his campaign took photos and videos at a restricted section of Arlington Cemetery last week. His opponent, Vice President Kamala Harris, added her voice to those condemning his visit. Viewers Veronica Balderas Iglesias reports.
The Democratic presidential nominee, Vice President Kamala Harris, joined in the criticism of the Trump campaign for taking images last week of the former president's visit to Section 60 of the Arlington National Cemetery. Political activities in that section are strictly forbidden by federal law and Pentagon policies, and thus an altercation with a cemetery employee ensued. On Saturday, Harris addressed the issue in a message on X, formerly Twitter. "Let me be clear, the former president disrespected sacred ground, all for the sake of a political stunt." Trump, the Republican presidential nominee, repeated his counter-argument Saturday that he was there at the invitation of relatives of soldiers who died in a terrorist attack during the 2021 U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan.
He said to me, I'm not surprised, I never even thought about, "Sir, would it be possible for you to have a picture with us by the tombstone of my son?" I said, "Absolutely. I wasn't doing it I don't need publicity. I get a lot of publicity."
The Trump campaign released a statement and video clip Sunday by some Gold Star families backing his visit. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham was asked on ABC's This Week show whether he thinks the Trump campaign crossed the line.
I'm all for looking at what happened, but you know what really is unfortunate? That these families had to go visit their fallen loved ones at Arlington due to incompetence by the Biden administration. Rise in terrorism, combine that with a broken border, another 9/11's coming our way.
When it comes to securing the border, Harris's vision would prove the most effective, said Colorado Governor Jared Polis. He was asked to clarify if it would include building walls and how it compares to Trump's approach.
The border wall that Donald Trump has proposed is a huge boondoggle and waste of taxpayer money. He effectively talked about a wall across the entire border rather than using barriers of different kinds effectively. Kamala Harris is for is securing it in the most cost-effective way possible.
On the Labor Day holiday Monday, Vice President Harris will campaign in Michigan and Pennsylvania. On Tuesday, her campaign will launch the Fighting for Reproductive Freedom bus tour with a kickoff event in Palm Beach, Florida. The Trump-Vance campaign will hold events Tuesday in Braselton, Georgia and Mesa, Arizona. Veronica Valderas Iglesias, VOA News, Washington.
After the bodies of 6 slain Israeli hostages were found in a tunnel in southern Gaza, Israelis have reacted with shock and anger. Some blame the Israeli government for not reaching the ceasefire deal with Hamas earlier. Israel's largest labor union announced a general strike starting Monday.
Just days after their families screamed to the hostages on loudspeakers at the Israeli-Gaza border, the Israeli army announced that 6 hostages were found in a tunnel in southern Gaza. The murdered hostages included Hirsch Goldberg Poland, a dual U.S.-Israeli citizen.
They were cruelly murdered by Hamas terrorists shortly before we reached them. They were abducted alive on the morning of October 7th by the Hamas terror organization. Their bodies were found during combat in Rafah in an underground tunnel, approximately 1 kilometer from the tunnel from which we rescued Farhan al-Qadi a few days ago.
The Israeli press says that rescue may have provoked Hamas to kill the 6 hostages, fearing the Israeli soldiers were getting closer. It was also reported that 3 of the 6 killed were set to be released on humanitarian grounds in the first stage of a ceasefire, including Goldberg Poland and 2 women. In mass demonstrations around the country, protesters say the government is sabotaging a hostage release deal in favor of maintaining a military presence along the Gaza-Egypt border. This policy decision was confirmed by government cabinet ministers a few days ago, and according to Israeli press reports, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu acknowledged that their decision likely meant the collapse of negotiations over a hostage deal. But after the killing of the 6 hostages, Netanyahu blamed Hamas for the lack of any hostage deal.
These days, while Israel is conducting intensive negotiations with the mediators and a supreme effort to reach a deal, Hamas continues to firmly refuse any proposal. Whoever murders abductees does not want a deal.
Polls show a majority of the Israeli public supports a ceasefire deal as the only way to release the hostages, even if it means that Hamas is not completely destroyed, according to Gershon Baskin, a longtime Israeli negotiator with Hamas.
The military pressure does not release hostages. 8 hostages were rescued in military operations. There are still 101 hostages in Gaza. If something is learned from what we learned last night when these hostages' bodies were found, is that military pressure will not save them. Military pressure will kill them.
Amid national mourning for the 6 young hostages, Israelis have gone into the streets in mass demonstrations against Netanyahu's military policy and are holding a one-day general strike Monday. Linda Gradstein for VOA News, Jerusalem.
Stay tuned for sports after this break.
Uncertainty looms and opportunities are scarce. It's time to break from the barrier and unlock your full potential.
We must live within our means. We cannot spend money that we don't have.
We will explore the fascinating world of investment, trade secrets, and entrepreneurship.
Sasa challenges ziko mingi sana. Parking ya mzigo imekuwa mbaya. Unaweka pesa yako inakataa kurudi.
Whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out, we've got you covered with invaluable insights to help you succeed.
Now, this year we have seen a rebound in the economy, which is well above the global average of the 3%.
Join me, Anyango Sylvia, every Sunday and Monday on KUTV News at 9, and let's turn your dreams into reality.
I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland, and I'm the main coordinator of the CAFE project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Eva Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
They are powerful and influential. They make decisions in politics, education, finance, agriculture, health, sports, and all aspects of human life. But the impact of their decisions falls on you, the common citizen. KUTV Primetime News Thursday. We ask bold questions and pursue answers to the core to bring you closer to the story. We couldn't have it any other way. Join me, Auma Evans, as I raise matters of social concern to raise your voice from the background to the foreground.
Welcome back, and in sports tonight, Mary Mora, the Olympic 800-meter bronze medalist, has set a new world record in the women's 600 meters. Competing at the ISTAF Berlin, Mora clocked an incredible 1 minute 21.63 seconds, shattering the previous record of 1 minute 21.77 seconds held by Caster Semenya. Vincentia's Shafikwa Maluni finished second, clocking 1 minute 22.98 seconds, while Germany's Alicia Schmid sealed the podium position in 1 minute 24.88 seconds. And the Harambee Stars have landed in Kampala, Uganda, and are set to face off against Zimbabwe in the AFCON 2025 qualifiers this Wednesday at Pool J. The team, led by their determined coach Ingen Firat and backed by a passionate squad, is gearing up for a crucial match that could play a significant role in their journey towards the Africa Cup of Nations. With high hopes and strong strategy, the Harambee Stars are focused on delivering a standout performance on the road. Now that brings us to the end of the bulletin tonight. On behalf of the production team, led by my producer Edward Nyamu and my director Ashley Mungangi, thank you so much for choosing KUTV and for staying with us this far. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Sami Okelo and Anyango Sylvia.